Hello, and I just thought I would just jump on and have a quick chat about what stops a baby from sleeping. Now, I know there's probably a lot of parents out there who are just trying to settle your baby right now or your toddler, and you're really struggling because your child is thrashing around and just not responding the way you'd hope them to. Because I think one of the most frustrating things is when you know that your child is tired and they just won't settle for you. And the reason this happens is it's because they haven't been in a routine throughout the day. And if your child is not getting enough sleep throughout the day and getting the naps and learning to go off to sleep by themselves, it really kind of builds up over the day. So that's when you get the situation where your baby becomes overtired. And when you're overtired, it's like yourself. You know when you've been rushing around at work or you've got 101 things on your mind and you just think, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and you've got so many things going on in your mind, you can't actually settle down and remember what you need to do because your mind is so full. And it's actually very similar for a baby, because what happens is many babies are being overstimulated. So, I mean, obviously, every parent wants to have a child that is bright and has lots of lovely toys, but a baby really doesn't need very much at all. They just need very, very simple care. They just need lots of hugs. They need lots of eye to eye contact, and they need to be held and responded to, obviously, when they cry. But they don't need lots of toys, they don't need lots of flashing lights, they don't need lots of noisy things. Those things can come later when they get older. But if you start off overstimulating your baby, you're going to find it really hard to settle them down and really calm them, because a baby really needs to be calm and have a quiet time before they go off to sleep. Again, it's just like you would want to go to sleep. I mean, as an adult, you'd have you might read a book, or you might watch some TV, or you might have a drink, a hot drink, um, and that just helps you relax. Or you might just be chatting to a friend or something. But whatever it is that helps you relax, think, what does my baby need? What will help them be calm? Because if you're, say, rushing around and then, your baby starts to sort of cry and you think, oh gosh, they really are ready for their nap, I must put them down. And then you get sidetracked, and then, 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes, and then you do something else. Um, every minute, that's going by, your baby is getting more and more tired. So it's really, really hard to for them to unwind and settle, or it's going to take you a lot longer to get them to go off. So so the best way to avoid this is to start introducing a routine from an early age, and the earlier you can do it, the better, because once your child learns to go to sleep and they get into regular patterns of sleep, everything becomes a lot more predictable, and your days will flow much better. And as your child gets older, this becomes increasingly more important. So if you're somebody who likes to wing it, you are going to probably find that things are going to be a lot more challenging as your child gets older. So that's my first tip, is to set a routine or start introducing a routine. Obviously when they're very tiny, it's difficult because they're feeding so regularly, and they do obviously need to feed every couple of hours or so. But as they reach the sort of 2 to 3 month mark, you can start introducing sometimes, and noticing like when they naturally are sleeping themselves. But so get a routine sort of put in place early on, and have a calm time before your baby goes to sleep. So it's no sort of you know jump, having them sort of bouncing on your knee, or say waving, flashing lights and lots of noisy things in front of their faces, because this is just literally going to overstimulate them. So it's going to be much harder for them to kind of settle down. So that's my second tip, is to have a calm time And the third tip is to have a nice calm environment and make sure that your child is warm enough. Their bedding is comfortable. They're not too hot. They're not too cold. If they've got a wet nappy on, it may be that their feet get cold. So do check all these things before you put them down, and then you'll have a much greater chance of success. And also, don't over um, have too many layers on your baby. It's much better to have less clothes on and thinner layers, and have several layers than thick layers. So don't put thick blankets and heavy blankets on your baby. So just say give them thin layers, and then you can add to their bedding if necessary, or take things off. So that's a much better way that your baby doesn't overheat, and it's much better that a baby is a little bit too cool rather than too hot. So those are my 3 tips today. So I say get your baby started in the routine from an early age. Make sure that they have a calm, quiet time before you put them to bed or to sleep, and also make sure that they're comfortable. So try putting those in place, and if you need any more help or anything, please visit my website, which is sanitynanny.com, and I'd love to know how you've got on, or if you've got any other questions about settling your baby, then please do get in touch, and I'll be back here again soon. So bye for now.